Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're doing an amplifier and subwoofer install in this 2014 Honda Civic. Now in this install we're going to show you how to integrate this amp and sub to the factory audio sound system. Let's get started. As we dive into things, a couple of things to note. We do have the SI trim, but regardless of your trim level, whether you have the factory amplifier or not, the technique will almost be identical, as the speakers we're tapping into, since we're keeping the factory radio, are all located in the rear deck of the Civic. We'll show you how to make those connections and the parts you'll need for all trim levels. So let's head over to the bench to show you the parts that we're using in today's install. Here at the bench, the parts that we're using for our install, first and foremost, is the amp and sub combo customer wants to put in. It's the Scar Audio base package, and it comes with the amplifier, wiring kit, and the subwoofer and box are already in the trunk of the vehicle. It's the 12-inch version. They make this in 8s, 10s, 12s. You can also get them in single subs or dual subs. It just depends exactly on your budget, but we can link those kits in the description here. Because we are integrating this to a factory radio, we need some sort of line-out converter. Pack Audio makes this great budget-friendly high-power line-out converter that also generates a remote turn-on circuit, which is super nice. So we don't have to go search around the vehicle for an accessory or remote turn-on wire. The line-out converter will make one for us. Before we've started filming here today, is we went ahead and prepped a panel. This is a 12 by 16 inch piece of ABS plastic. It's about 1/8 inch, and essentially this plastic's going to house and hold our amplifier underneath the driver's side front seat. We went ahead and pulled the 14mm bolts out of the seat so we can just tip it back. There's 4, one on each corner. This will snag one of the bolts, and then we'll tack it to the floor and bolt it up here in the corner so it stays nice and snug. We're going to use this piece of plastic to mount all our wiring to make it nice and clean, and oftentimes we've done the line-out converter at the speaker or at the radio that we're tapping into. In this case, we're just going to mount our line-out converter here. We have a little extra shorty RCA cable that'll feed our amplifier the signal it needs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get everything prepped here on the bench, and then we're going to start planning our wire route from the battery to the positive post here on the amplifier. Now underneath the hood here on the driver's side front corner is our main battery. So I'll go to one of those stubs. We want to put our fuse holder as close to the battery as possible. If you have any questions or concerns about hooking anything up to the battery, it's always a good idea to first remove the negative so you don't do any damage during your install. Alright, so looking on the back firewall here, there's the factory big grommet there, kind of right there in the center of the screen. That's what we're going to use to pass our wire through there. Now we always want to be very careful of factory wiring. We don't want to do any damage whatsoever to that. So we'll keep that in mind as we prepare to pull that wire. Now what we've done to kind of prep our wiring connections here at the amplifier is we like to put these wire ferrules on, some heat shrink, and then when we put that in, it'll actually crimp the ferrule under the wire and not crush the wire itself. It makes for a nice clean connection, and you also don't have any strands hanging out for potential shorts. So this is kind of what we do. We're going to go ahead and get this here. Now we like to zip tie our wire to our amplifier mount. Keeps everything together, and then we're going to route basically our wires up to the back side of the amp, and we're going to go through just the access holes where like the seat airbag harness passes through. It's a nice convenient location to run our wiring as well. Alright, so we've done some wiring here at the bench, just getting everything prepared, just taking a break to show you what we've done so far. We went ahead and connected our power and ground. Again, we're doing it first at the amp versus at the amp last, just so we don't have to do it up underneath the seat. And it allows us to zip tie it, make it nice and clean all the way through those connections. Again, we put wire ferrules on speaker output. This is our sub output. It'll go all the way to the trunk. We're going to run that with the loom as well. Now our line-out converter has a yellow, a black, and a blue wire on this side of this harness. We need to hook yellow up to constant 12 volt, black to ground, and then blue goes to the remote input on our amplifier. So what we've done here, we've actually extended those wires, ran them down and loomed them, the yellow and the black. They come all the way around, and we're just snagging that 12 volt constant power off the terminals of the amplifier here. So that'll snag that power, so this has the power it needs. And then blue runs through. You can see that blue running all the way down into the remote input of the amplifier. And then we have these little 1 foot shorter RCA cables. Now additionally, with our line out converter, we also need to feed it signal. It needs to know what to play, and it needs to know that signal so it can turn on the amplifier itself. So it usually has 2 sets of speaker inputs. Now, with your speaker inputs, this is where your trim level may differ. We have a factory subwoofer in the center part of the rear deck of our Civic, meaning that factory sub is driven by a factory amplifier, and generally those amps will have built-in crossover. So we in our case, because we have the factory sub, we have to use the signal from that factory amp. So we don't need 2 channels of input, we only need 1 in our case, because we only have 1 sub, 1 speaker we're tapping into. So only 1 set of speaker leads. So we combined our lefts with the 2 stripes, and then the rights, we soldered those on, and basically what we're going to do is put the heat shrink up and over those connections, and we'll shrink them down. This will run all the way to the trunk along with our subwoofer wire that's a heavier gauge. Now in your case, if you don't have that center subwoofer speaker in the rear deck, instead of just running 1, which you still could do, run 2 sets of speaker signal and tap into the right and the left speaker underneath the deck lid there. White's going to be your left, gray is going to be your right, and then again, the side with the black stripe is going to be your negative wire. So instead of running 1 set of speaker wire, you'll run 2 and tap into the left and the right. Again, that's going to supply signal to our line out converter, so then it can turn on the amplifier and provide an RCA output so the amplifier knows what to play. Alright, so we finished up wiring our amp rack here. So it's all nice and zip tied all together here. At this point of time, we can go get this into the car. Alright, so we went ahead and slid our amp panel in there. It's going to grab that back seat belt bolt. All our wires go right through that access pole. And this was super loose. It's already been off before. This already had an amplifier in it that was removed. So we basically pulled this off. There is a Phillips screw right underneath this panel. Basically, you can pull off this cover. It allows you to remove that screw, and then this is held on with clips. But essentially here, that gives us some good access to get up underneath here. What we found is there's actually factory ground right there that we're going to use to install a ring terminal for our ground wire for the amplifier. Alright, so our ground's all good. Got that all cleaned up nice. And at this point, we can start pulling our wire all the way through. Now we're going to pull our power wire and our base knob wire. That's going to go this way. And our signal wire, as well as our sub output wire, is going to head towards the trunk. Alright, so next here, under the hood, it's time to start preparing to pull our power wire through the firewall. Now, like I said before, right down in there is our grommet, and we got this hanger. Fished our hand in there and pierced through that grommet. We'll show you where it passes through on the inside. Right up there is our hanger end. Super easy and lucky. Poked right through there. Okay, so we pulled that wire through. Now we taped our wire really well to it. We're gonna lube this up with some soap and water. Get as much soap and water on there as possible. You want that as slippery as possible, so when you pull it through, it does not hang up on the factory grommet. So with that wire now pulled through the firewall there, we actually went ahead and just split loomed it right along and zip tied along the factory wiring. Comes out here. Made a little fuse mount with ABS plastic and zip tied it. A little shorty that went up to the positive post there on the battery. So that's all done. Everything's nice and clean and serviceable. At this point of time, we're done under the hood, and we can continue to run our wiring into the trunk. All right, so we ran our sub wire and our line input wire underneath the B-pillar. continue along, pop this panel off. Again, it wasn't really on. We gotta pop these clips out so we can securely attach it properly. We just fished it up underneath the carpet there. Our sub output wire will go right to our box. And then we fished our signal side that'll go to the line out converter. On our vehicle, we do have the factory subwoofer here. If you didn't have the factory sub, obviously there would be nothing here. Then you'd have two 6.5s. This obviously has seen better days. You can tell that they've probably had something in here. I'm not quite sure what was going on. They didn't have the right brackets. Who knows? But there's no rear speakers in it now. If you had rear speakers wiring, we'll link in the video here and in the description so you know what's positive and negative. So if you didn't have the factory sub, you'd have to run 2 sets of speaker wires. You'd tap into the left side, then you tap into the right side. Both are missing speakers at this point. Our factory sub is right here, and they've also cut off the leads to the sub, the previous installer. And we went ahead and soldered ours, since we only have one necessary lead to the factory sub. Greens are positive, reds are negative. So we went ahead and soldered on there. We'll use a bit of heat shrink to cover those connections. Fortunately, it's been hacked up quite a bit back here, so we're gonna have to do some cleanup when we do the rear speakers. All right, so we got everything all in. Power and ground is done. We hooked up. That little light turns on, which then in turn turns our amplifier on. So remember, it's generating a remote turn-on wire once it senses speaker audio over that input speaker set of wires. Because it's doing that, it's also outputting a low-level signal for our amplifier, and it's also turning the amplifier on through that blue wire. Makes it nice and easy. We love these little line-out converters. This will snag the back bolt, and everything else will tack into place, so this isn't going anywhere. At this point, we got our panels all back in here. We just need to do a vacuum, and we just set our gains with an SMD DD1. Based on this amplifier, this radio clip's about level 30, and based on our SMD DD1, we set our gains to about right there. We don't use any bass boost or anything like that. We just want to keep the signal as clean as possible. So at this point in time, we're good to go. We can bolt the seat back down, do a final cleanup, and that's about it for this install video. If you want to see any other videos we've done on this Civic, we'll link those videos in the description, including speakers and a radio. And if you like any of the parts that we used, we'll link those in the description as well. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time. We'll see you in the next video.